Hello my friends, and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing my April wrap-up. May is here. It's May. April's over. I can't believe it. I don't know, it's weird. I don't feel like it's May, and I feel like the beginning of the year just happened, and I don't know. It's weird. The year's going by really fast, but also really slow. Very crazy. It's May now. Yeah, so April was kind of a hot mess reading month for me. I read 11 books. 7 of those books were romances and the rest were horror and thrillers. So yeah, I don't know. It was bad. I could not get into reading this month, or last month I guess now, but it was just so weird. Nothing was holding my attention. Nothing sounds good. Like, I just couldn't get invested in the books that I was reading, or like what I had on my shelves. Like, every time I looked at my shelves, I just didn't know what I wanted to read, and I just couldn't figure it out. So romances were really the only thing that were easy, light. I didn't really have to think too hard. I could just go through it and just be like, yeah, that was good, woohoo, and then just keep reading them. And that's how I made it to 11 books, honestly, because otherwise I would have probably only read like 6 books. So thank goodness for romances, because honestly it saved my butt this month. But yeah, it was a weird month. Didn't really know what to do. So we got a variety of things to talk about. This is gonna be a really interesting wrap up. I don't know. Also, my ratings are kind of really evenly spread. There's not a lot in one like star rating and then less in one. They're just like evenly spread out. So very, very interesting month. I don't know. It was an interesting month. I'm glad it's over. I'm hoping May's better, because I don't want to have this happen again. But let's start with my 2.5 star rating, and then we'll go and work our way up to 5 so we can end on a positive note. So the book that is in my 2.5 star category, the only book, is Flock by Kate Stewart. So I actually read this because everyone on Book Talk is obsessed with it, and I was like, you know what? Sure. I had no idea what the book was about. Honestly, the book description on Goodreads really tells you nothing, and I mean, I'm not really gonna go into a plot. It's a romance. There's like mystery involving it, you know, like there's a mysterious kind of plot in there. I DNF'd this book earlier in the month. I started it, got about I think 25% in, decided to DNF it because I wasn't feeling it. Then read a bunch of other books, and then at the end of the month went back to it and picked it up again and then finished it. I don't really care for it. I don't really get what everyone was talking about. I don't think it was that good. I don't want to go into the plot too much in case I don't want to spoil things. It's a romance. There's drama, family drama as well. You know, there's a lot of layers, I guess. It's very smutty. Very smutty. Very, very, very smutty. And I didn't mind that. That honestly wasn't what I didn't like about it. The things that I didn't like about it were the characters. I found them to be incredibly unlikable and kind of toxic, honestly. Like, I didn't think it was like romantic or cute or sweet or anything like that. I was just kind of confused. The ending did kind of leave you off on a cliffhanger, and I feel like they're gonna go, the second book is gonna bring you more into like a mysterious kind of thriller plot, which is kind of cool, but I don't know if I have it in me to read the other 2 books. I don't know if I really care. This one just wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't for me. I didn't like the love interest. There was just a lot of things that I didn't care for. It was just strange. And I know people love this series, and it's like super big on Book Talk, and a lot of people love this. I've heard everyone rave about it. I just personally didn't get the hype. I didn't get it. It was a weird story. So I don't know. I don't know how to explain it anymore without going into like too much detail. But yeah, I know a lot of people like it, so I'm sure some of you have read it and probably enjoy it, but it just wasn't personally for me. So yeah, I probably won't continue with the series, even though I know everyone loves the second book, Exodus, I think is what it's called. I think everyone loves that one like a lot, but I already got it spoiled for me, so I know what happens in it. So yeah, I probably won't read it. Honestly, I don't think I care enough. So yeah, that was my feelings and why I rated Flock 2.5 stars. Next up is the 3-star category, and the first book I have is Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. So a lot of people recommended this one to me, and I can understand why. It's very cute. I just personally didn't love it as much as I thought I was going to. I think it's good, but it's about this guy named Luke who is the child of famous parents. He's in the public eye a lot, and he kind of has like a bad public image. Like, he's always in the tabloids. It's actually affecting his job as well. To kind of clean up his image and to help kind of smooth things over, he gets into a fake relationship with Oliver, who is a lawyer, and he's just very normal and just kind of what he needs to clean up his image. And of course, fake dating, you know, leads to real feelings. So the issues that I had with this is just that Luke, the main character, he just comes off very immature for his age, and I personally found him to be irritating. Like, the way he acts and the way he does certain things was frustrating to me. And I honestly really liked Oliver, the love interest. I just didn't really care for Luke. So that was where my issues lied, and honestly, I feel like I much preferred Red, White, and Royal Blue over this one. It's pretty much the same plot, honestly. It's the same kind of plot, but I found that one to be way less, like, immature and like kind of annoying than I did this, like especially like the characters' actions and stuff like that. So for me, this was cute. I finished it. I liked it. It just I don't know, it just didn't hit for me. It just wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. I don't know. I think just comparing it to Red, White, and Royal Blue, I much preferred that one. So this just didn't live up to that hype for me. So yeah, I just didn't quite enjoy this one as much, but it was still fun. It was cute. I didn't DNF it, you know. I liked it, but it just wasn't as good as I had expected it to be. The next and last book in my 3-star category is Cold Moon Over Babylon by Michael McDowell. If you saw my most recent reading vlog, I'm doing this kind of new series where some of my booktube friends recommend to me books to read, and then I do a vlog reacting to the books that they pick for me and just reading them and my overall thoughts. So this one was recommended to me by Alex from the Bookubus, and I kind of knew that it wasn't going to be my style from the beginning, which is why I asked everyone that I asked to give me recommendations. I wanted books that were kind of out of my comfort zone and things that I didn't normally typically gravitate towards, and this is a Southern Gothic horror novel, which we all know Gothic horror isn't typically my favorite because you know, it's very slow and I don't really like slow burn horror. It's not my thing. I just get distracted a little too easily, and I just want the excitement to kind of pick up my interest and to kind of like keep me invested, and so Gothic horror just tends to not really help me in that aspect. So I was a little nervous, but I haven't read a Michael McDowell before, so I was very excited to give this one a try. And basically what this is about is the Larkin family, and the Larkin family suffered a tragedy like several years ago, and now they actually suffer another tragedy where this 14-year-old girl is murdered, and then these ghosts seek revenge on the murderer. So my issues with this book, there's not that many. I feel like it's not that big of a deal. That's why I gave it 3 stars. It didn't get any lower than that. I still enjoyed the book. I read it and I had fun while reading it. It just wasn't my kind of book. Basically, it was a little too slow. It took about 70 to 100 pages to kind of pick up speed, which is, that's a long time for me, so it was a little bit draggy in the beginning, but once it picked up speed, I did enjoy it a lot more. Two, I found the murderer to be extremely obvious, and I think that was the intention. It was supposed to be obvious, but for me personally, I just don't enjoy when it's that obvious. I do like a little bit of suspense, and so to me it was just a little too obvious. My other problem is that the characters were just kind of dumb. It took a long time for them to see what they were supposed to be seeing, and I understand that that is the point of the book. They are making a statement. I understand that this is like commentary on like the Southern social hierarchy and how when you don't have a lot of money, you know, people don't really care. So I understood that was the point. I got it. I understood it. Doesn't mean that I hated the characters any less, and they didn't infuriate me any less. They still irritated me. I found them to be very annoying. I'm sure it's very realistic. I'm sure that's exactly what happens. But to me, when everything's combined into one, the slow burn, the commentary, the obvious murderer, the kind of very detailed and drawn out writing, it was hard for me to kind of even connect even when I knew what the whole point of the story was. It was just too much, and I didn't care for it. Like, it was just, I would have done better if it was maybe just the social commentary. I don't know, I could have liked it a little bit better, but when they were all combined, it was just too much for me, and it really took down my enjoyment. I understand that it was trying to make a statement on Southern small towns. I got it. It just didn't really work for me. Next up is the 3.5 star category, and honestly, I'm very, very sad that I had to put this book this low in the ratings because I thought I was gonna like it a lot more than I did. I'm a little sad. I also know that it's kind of a controversial book. You either really like it or you really dislike it. So yeah, it is the On Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. So this is a romance book. It is also like a fake dating, forced proximity. So basically, Olive is the main character, and she has a twin sister named Ami who is getting married. And Olive and Ami are very different. Olive kind of has super bad luck, and she never really gets things that work in her favor, whereas Ami is the total opposite. Everything good happens to her. She's like very lucky. She always has like really good, you know, stuff coming her way. And at the wedding, everyone gets food poisoning except for Olive and her arch nemesis, Ethan, who is the brother to Ami's new husband. Ami ended up winning her honeymoon, and it was non-refundable, so she kind of pushes Olive to go in her place because they're twins, and Ethan, since he's the only one that's not sick, to go with her and enjoy the honeymoon in their place. And of course Olive doesn't want to. He's her enemy. She doesn't want to spend that long with him in this, you know, beautiful location suffering, but they end up going, obviously, and they have to pretend to be you know, newlyweds. And of course there's a good dose of drama throughout. So my issues with this, I really liked the first half. I love fake dating. It's one of my favorite tropes. I think it's fun. This is just as good to me because they were pretending to be newlyweds, so I loved it. I like the whole enemies to lovers thing. That was good as well. It was very funny, very enjoyable. What lost me is the second half. There is this kind of subplot that starts happening that involves other people. I don't want to give too much away. And I found it frustrating because to me, when everything starts happening, Ethan, the love interest, he turns into such a dick. I couldn't stand him. He was infuriating to me. Like, I hated him. When I was reading the second half, I was like, no, I can't stand you, sir. You need to get lost. I did not like him. I was mad at him for treating Olive the way he was treating her, for whatever was going on. I don't care. It was annoying. And I just didn't like it. I didn't like that addition. It was unnecessary to me, and honestly, it kind of ruined the book for me. That whole second half was just dumb. And one other thing is, it wasn't very smutty, and like, I'm not someone that needs smut in their romance, but this was just kind of like way too tame for me. I was like, it was way too tame. I was like, hello? Am I missing something? I was annoyed about that. First half could have been a 5-star. Second half dropped it down to a 3.5, unfortunately. I know either you love this book or you hate it, so I feel like I fall in the middle. I liked it. I didn't hate it, but it did frustrate me, and I didn't really understand the unnecessary addition of the second half, like what was going on. So yeah, it was just okay after that. Before we get into the 4-star category, I have a book that's kind of in the middle. I can't decide if I want to put this book in the 3.5 category or the 4-star category. So I'm not really sure. I don't really know how I feel about it, to be honest. I mean, I do, whatever. It's The Seance in Apartment 10 by Ambrose Ibsen. So this is a very short like novella. This is about Tori, who moves into this apartment building over the summer. She's kind of tired of the dorm life, and since she is taking a college class over the summer, she decides this is the best opportunity to find a place to live off campus, and she chooses this apartment complex because it is very, very, very cheap. And it's very rundown. It is not in good condition, and her dad's kind of like, maybe you shouldn't do that. And she's like, I want independence. I can do this. It's no big deal. This will be fine. And then she invites some friends over, and for some reason, like always, they decide to have a seance in the apartment. Sounds like a good idea, for sure. And then, of course, the seance opens up the door and some things start happening. So this is a very quick read. It's very short. I believe it's like 179 pages. So it's very easy to read. The chapters are fairly short, very fast paced. I think my biggest, not complaint, it's just, this is why it's not rated higher, is this is just a very predictable, you know, haunting kind of scenario. It's not anything different in my opinion. It's not anything new. There is one scene in here though that when I read it, I was like, oh, that is creepy and gross and freaky, and I really enjoyed that. But like I said, this isn't a bad story. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It's not awful. I liked it. It was enjoyable. It's just not anything, you know, mind-bending, new, anything crazy like that, but I did like it. It was a lot of fun. So that's why I'm kind of unsure what to do with it. 3.5, 4, I'm not really sure. I liked it. It's nothing crazy, exceptional, like out of this world, but I liked it and I enjoyed it and it was fun. So I don't know. I don't know where to do. I don't know what to do with it. I'm sorry. I can't put it in a category. I'm unsure. So please forgive me. Next up is the 4-star category, and now we're moving on to books that I really, really enjoyed and I did like. I feel like this first book is going to be a hit or miss. A lot of people don't like this book, and I'll get into why. I personally really liked this book, but I understand why people didn't like it, so, you know, whatever. That is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I know. I know a lot of people don't like this book, but I personally really, really liked it. So this is about the main character, Catalina, who needs a date to her sister's wedding in Spain. She ended up telling this white lie to her family that she was bringing her American boyfriend as a date to the wedding because her ex is going to be at the wedding and he's bringing his fiance. And they did not have like the best breakup. So, you know, she told this white lie and now she has to find someone to take as her date. So, of course, Aaron, who is her colleague at work, he and her kind of have this like rivalry, right? They don't like each other. He's tall, handsome, but he's also like super mean and she just doesn't like him. They do not get along, you know, the typical. And he offers to be her date. Of course, she does not want this to happen because she doesn't like him. She doesn't want to have to go to Spain with him and pretend to be like, oh, in love, cute. And then of course she's very desperate, so she ends up agreeing. A lot of people don't like this because it is a slow burn, and I mean, it's a slow burn. This is a chunky romance book. It takes them forever to get to Spain and the wedding. I mean, half the book is them in New York getting ready for the wedding. Like, the wedding, it takes forever for them to get to Spain. I'll agree with that. I'll agree. But I really liked it. I thought the romance between Catalina and Aaron were really cute. I really liked Aaron. I really liked Catalina. I know a lot of people found her irritating, but I personally kind of really liked her. So that didn't really bother me. I did take off a star just because it was a long romance and it was a slow burn. I do think you got the payoff though. There were some really good scenes, some steamy scenes between them that I really liked, and once Spain happened, I was like, oh, okay, all right, cute, love it. So I personally really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I really liked it. I did. I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority, I'm not really sure, but I did really enjoy this one. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I thought the slow burn was, it was a little frustrating, but I think you got the payoff in the end, so I wasn't too mad about it. Next up in the 4-star category is You Had Me at Hola by Alexis Daria, and this was a lot of fun because they have a lot of Spanish words, a lot of Spanish sentences. I felt like I was brushing up on my Spanish knowledge because I'm not fluent at all. I don't know a lot of Spanish. I'm not very good at it. So I was like, wait, I know that word. I know what that sentence means. So I was like, oh wait, I do know a little bit more than I thought I did. So that was a lot of fun. So this is about the main character, Jasmine, who is a soap opera star, and she's kind of been splashed all over the tabloids for this breakup that she's just had. She lands this leading role in a new romantic comedy TV show that's also bilingual. And she's very excited because she's like, this is going to fix what the tabloids are, you know, spewing at me. I'll be able to focus on my career, you know, hopefully stay out of the public for bad stuff, you know? And the love interest is Ashton. He is a telenovela star, and he was just recently killed off of the last and most recent telenovela that he was on. So he gets this role opposite of Jasmine in the TV series, and he thinks this is a great opportunity to open the door for American audiences to see him and hopefully get more of a big break in Hollywood and kind of maybe get away from telenovelas. And when they first meet, it doesn't go quite so smooth, but they have to obviously be acting together on screen a lot. So they decided to kind of rehearse together to work on their chemistry and their steaminess and all that. And of course, that leads to a little bit more. But they both have, you know, plans that this relationship could get in the way of. Like I said, I thought this was a lot of fun. It was very cute. I liked the bilingual aspect. I liked the inclusivity of this story. I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. I liked reading in Spanish and talking about telenovelas and just like soap operas. I thought that was fun. I feel like people who like Jane the Virgin will probably really like this book. It has the same kind of vibe for me. So yeah, it was just really cute. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. I feel like the steamy scenes weren't like super steamy. Like I could have gotten a little bit more, right? I could have had a little bit more, but I did like it and I did enjoy it overall. Next up and last in the 4-star category is another book that I read in my reading vlog. So this was recommended to me by Katrina, and it is Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. So this is a science fiction, historical fiction novel, and I was very nervous about this one. Historical fiction and science fiction are not two genres that I typically go towards. They make me nervous. I don't typically enjoy them, and I was very scared. Especially with the science fiction, honestly, I was like, oh no. Oh no, this is not going to end well for Erin. However, this was a pleasant surprise. So this book is about a Black woman who just recently celebrated her 26th birthday. She is living in the year 1976. That is the time period. And one day she feels dizzy. She's not doing anything abnormal, but she gets dizzy and she ends up time traveling back to the antebellum South when slavery is in full force. And she ends up being able to kind of go back and forth between the time periods, and it's very, very, very interesting. This book surprised me. Again, like I said, two genres I'm not typically involved in, especially science fiction. That really worried me. A lot of people told me not to worry too much about the science fiction aspect because it's a lot less science fiction than you might think, and it's more just about time travel, and I definitely agree. Time traveling obviously is a part of science fiction, but it's really the only science fiction aspect in this book. I was very happy that this was an easy read. Like, I was able to comprehend everything. I was able to understand what the book was trying to convey. There weren't too big like plots or you know, like concepts that I couldn't grasp. I was very happy with that because that's kind of my worry with science fiction, that I'm gonna be too stupid for it. So I was very worried, but this is a very simple, straightforward plot, and it's not overly complicated at all. I was very happy about that. On the flip side, this does have a lot of topics that are extremely heavy and dark. Obviously, there's slavery, racism. It's a very, very, very heavy book, and so it's not easy to read in that aspect, but the way it's written is very easy, and I think made the book a much better overall read than I was anticipating, and I'm very, very, very happy about that. Like, I'm honestly surprised that I liked it as much as I did. I really didn't think I was gonna like it. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I think the ending was very... see, I said this in my vlog. I don't know how to talk about the ending. It wasn't a good ending, but it wasn't a bad ending. It was a very realistic ending for what the book was talking about. It made sense. It wasn't... it just wasn't like a super crazy ending. It just was a very like, yes, that makes sense. It was a bittersweet ending, but I really liked it. Overall, a very good book. I highly recommend, especially if you're scared of science fiction like me. I think this is a good starter science fiction novel. Like very, very good for starting science fiction. Next up is the 4.5 star category, and we have one book, and that is The One by John Mars. This was recommended to me by Nakia. Again, I have this in my reading vlog. So this also very much a big surprise. This is a thriller, and honestly, I thought I was gonna like it. I did. I thought it was gonna be up my alley. It sounded like something I would like. I did not anticipate how much I was going to actually end up liking this. Basically, what this book is about this company called Match Your DNA, which has this DNA test that matches you to your soulmate. There's this gene that matches you with your soulmate, and that's how they're pairing off people with their soulmates. They're doing this DNA test and then they're matching you based off of this gene. This book follows 5 people after they've been matched with their one true love, and kind of shows you what transpires between their meeting and everything until the end, and what these people are hiding and how they really don't know who they're meeting at all. This is just, it's like kind of like online dating, just with a different added layer to it. It's very interesting. It reminds me a lot of the YA dystopian trilogy Matched. It reminded me a lot of that, actually. So I really enjoyed the idea of this plot. I thought it was going to be a lot of fun, and boy, This is a roller coaster. I felt so many emotions while reading this book. I was happy, I was sad, I was frustrated. I was like, what is going on? I was surprised, shocked, confused. Oh my goodness. This book had me in a whirlwind. This also has extremely short chapters. I mean, boom, 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 boom. Multiple POVs. It's very, very fast paced. And each chapter leaves you off on a cliffhanger. So the first chapter is one POV, second chapter is the next POV, third, fourth, you know, until you cycle through the 5 POVs, it takes you back to the beginning, you do it all over again. So each chapter is a cliffhanger, and it's a lot. Like, you just have to, I was flying through this book trying to figure out what was going on. Didn't anticipate anything. Honestly, this book shocked me. The twists were very twisty. Had no idea what was going on. At any point, couldn't predict it. I had no idea. I was just confused and lost. I was like, whoa, I have to read. I read this in one sitting. It was extremely addictive. The only reason it's not a perfect 5-star is because one of the POVs I personally didn't like. And it's actually pretty surprising. I think a lot of people would assume I liked this POV because of what it is, but I didn't really like it. It frustrated me. I thought it was kind of annoying, and I didn't really like reading from that POV. I liked the other POVs more, and I liked the couples more, so I was less interested in that POV. And the ending, I wanted like a little bit more closure. I felt like it left a little bit to be desired. I would have liked a little bit more like conclusion, a little bit more of a concrete ending. But otherwise, this was an amazing, amazing read. Oh my god, I loved it so much. It was so good. Definitely a new thriller favorite for sure. I think if you like things that are fast-paced and you just want to like fly through it and there's a lot of twists, this one is definitely for you. Alright, we're on to the 5-star category, and these 2 books I absolutely loved and adored, and they were perfect. They're both romances, so, you know, sorry, but that's what I read primarily this month. This book shocked the living crap out of me. I honestly didn't think I was gonna like this. I hauled it a few months ago, I think in March. I think this was part of my March haul or something like that. I hauled it and I said that I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. It didn't seem like something I would like, and everyone told me that it was really, really good and that I would really like it. You were not wrong. I'm talking about The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I know this book has been talked about so much. Everyone loves this book. Everyone's been raving about this book for good reason. It's an amazing book. I ate this book up. Oh my god. It has fake dating in it. You know I love fake dating. Fake dating is my favorite trope. Look, this was the first book I think I read in April, and really it helped me out a lot. It was the reason that I even read at all, so I owe a lot to this book, but oh my goodness, I love it so much. So basically what this book is about, it's about the main character Olive, which I have to say, there's a lot of romance books with the name Olive. Am I the only one that noticed? Whatever. So the main character Olive, she is a grad student, she is a scientist, and she's trying to convince her friend that she's dating because her friend is interested in Olive's ex. I guess they kind of were dating a little bit. It was nothing super serious, and they ended up having a connection, and Olive obviously wants her friend to, you know, try this connection out and, you know, see what's possible from it. And the only way her friend is going to be okay with that is if Olive shows that she's moved on. Even though Olive doesn't even care, she's not really that like bothered by it. She's very happy for her friend and the guy. She's not like, it's not a big deal to her. So to help her friend out and to try to, you know, move that relationship along, she decides to tell her friend that she's dating. And when she sees her friend on campus, when she's supposed to be on a date, she ends up kissing the first person that she sees, and that ends up being Adam, who is a professor, and he's kind of got a reputation for being very hard and I don't know, I guess like mean, very serious, very dedicated, very, I would say like cold probably as well. And they end up starting to fake date, obviously, to keep the disguise up. That way her friend doesn't, you know, catch on to the fact that she was lying. And of course, you know how fake dating goes. They start to have feelings for each other, obviously. It's phenomenal. It's so funny. It's so cute. I love both main characters. I love fake dating. I really liked the scientist aspect too. Like, I thought it was gonna make me feel kind of dumb, but honestly I was just like, ooh, they're scientists. Yeah, they're so smart. Look at them. Look at them doing their scientist thing. I was like proud. I was like, yes, they're so smart. I loved that Olive was a scientist. I thought she was intelligent. I really liked her. I just liked their whole relationship. I liked everything about it. Look, I didn't have any issues. Everything about it I liked. It made me happy. It made me laugh. I was giggling. I liked the steamy scenes. There was some really good steamy scenes, honestly. Really good ones. So this, a new favorite, 100%. A new favorite, 100%. And next up and last in the 5-star category is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I know everyone raves about this one as well. Look, it was really good. Okay, I'm easy in the romance area, okay? Like, you don't have to give me too much to make me like a book. And this one just had it all. So basically, this is about the main character, Piper, who is a it girl, okay? She's very influential. She has a large online following. She's fashionable. She goes to extravagant parties. But all her relationships basically end the same way. They all think she's an airhead and kind of stupid. They think she's dumb. And they don't really see her as more than just like a little side fling, right? They don't really take her seriously in the romance department or in any department really. They just don't take her seriously. She ends up getting into trouble after she holds this really crazy rooftop party, and she ends up in jail. And her stepfather has to bail her out, and he's very mad. He's like, you're a wild child. You're old enough to be doing something with your life. You're not intelligent. You're not doing anything. He's very mean to her. I thought he was very mean. I didn't like the way he treated her at all. And so basically he kind of exiles Piper to the town where her dad was from, and her dad is not alive. So basically he sends Piper out to this dive bar that her dad used to own, and basically is like, do something with your life, you know, live in this small town and like try to figure out something better to do with your life than doing this. And so Piper has her sister come with her, and she shows up, and of course she doesn't want to do this. She knows what she knows. She doesn't know this world. She's not a part of this world, right? And there's this fisherman named Brendan, and he's very gruff and rough around the edges, and he's kind of, you know, he's kind of mean. He's like, you're not gonna last a second here, like a girl like you, yeah. And of course she takes that on as a challenge, and she's like, watch me, watch me. And her and this fisherman Brendan obviously get close and start seeing a different side to each other, and they realize that their first impressions of each other were not very accurate, you know? This was adorable, okay? One, Piper, I loved her. I love her so much. The way people treated her in this book irritated me to no end. They were so mean to her, and I wanted to give her a hug and love her, and I just, honestly, they were so mean to her. They were so nasty and rude, and I was on the verge of tears with the way they treated her. I was so angry. I actually really liked Brendan as well. I've seen a lot of people say that they thought that he was kind of misogynistic. I didn't really get that, but I mean, I don't really know. If they saw that and I didn't, I don't really know. I personally didn't get that from him. I really liked him. I liked their relationship. This is extremely steamy. There were some scenes where I was like, oh, whoa. It made me feel like I was like a little teenager giggling. I was like, Jesus. I was like, whoa, why can't I take this seriously? Oh my God. They were just so funny to read. They were those kinds of scenes. Yeah, but I've heard Tessa Bailey is known for her smut. So I will be reading more by her, obviously, because I enjoyed it. I ended up buying Hook, Line, and Sinker, which is the second book to this one. This has to do with Piper's sister, and I'm really excited for that one. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was super cute, super adorable. Loved Piper. She's such a queen. I loved Piper. I loved this book. Thought it was great. Amazing. And there you have it, my friends. That is my April wrap-up. Those are the 11 books I read in April. Not so bad. I think I did okay. You know, wasn't the worst month. Well, it was kind of bad just in the mental state of my brain. But overall, 11 books, I think I did pretty well. I think that was pretty good, you know? So I'm hoping May will be better. I hope I'll enjoy more books more, and I hope that I'll be able to get into books more in May. So fingers crossed. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite book of April was, what your least favorite book of April was. If you felt slumpy like me, or if you felt like you had a great reading month, I'd love to know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up. It lets me know that you enjoy wrap-ups, and that way I will keep doing these very long and rambly wrap-ups for you all. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We can become friends, talk about books, manga, thriller, romance, horror, spooky stuff, all that kind of fun stuff. And I hope you are having a great day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!